Hello, everyone. I'm ZHAO Chuang. Today, let's draw the back of Acrocanthosaurus. We have drawn the body of Acrocanthosaurus, and know the side of its body is like this. But this time, we'll draw its back from this angle. The back of Acrocanthosaurus was a simple bone, but its two sides were connected to thick muscles, so its whole body was like this. We can choose the angle of observing the Acrocanthosaurus from the front. This time, we'll not draw it academically, but draw it drinking water with its head down to make the picture look more lively. Now, let's draw the back of Acrocanthosaurus. Its back protruded high up, just like a camel's hump. To show its features, let's draw it lowering its head to drink water. We first draw the front of its head. Let's begin with the rear of its head. We can draw some wrinkles on the boundary between its head and neck. Then let's draw the top of its head. Which is close to its eyes. At the back of its eyes, there were two large lumps. Here, we can see a little bit of its supratemporal fenestry. When we draw a dinosaur, we can often see lateral temporal fenestry on the side. But as a diapsid, dinosaurs not only had lateral temporal fenestry on the side, but also supratemporal fenestry on the top. In the front of its eyes, it possessed two lacrimal horns. At the position where they extended downward to its nose, there was a thick layer of keratin, protecting the upper part of its skull. Near its nose, these keratinous structures formed a furcated structure in parallel rows. Let's draw some scratches and growth patterns to show the rough and hard surface texture. Now let's draw its eyes. From this angle, it is hard to see them, so we can slightly show them in this position. Then let's draw the back of its eyes. There were many prominent scales on its eye sockets. We can outline them. Then let's draw its jugal bones and show the muscles above them. The jugal bones extend forward to its maxilla. Its temporal fenestry were here with soft skin. We can show it a little bit. And then draw its temporal fenestry. Next, let's draw its maxilla. Followed by its premaxilli. Here at its premaxilli were its nostrils. We can see a little of its teeth, most of which are blocked from this angle. When it opened its mouth, some teeth in its lower jaw were shown. The front of its mouth was narrow, and the rear end of its lower jaw was thick. Then let's draw its thick neck. On both sides of which were sturdy muscles. After that, let's draw its shoulder and forelimb. Show its forelimb on the other side. Let's draw some shadows too. Now, let's draw its sturdy body. We first outline its ribs. Followed by the thigh. The knee. The shank. The ankle. The sole. And the toes. Then let's draw the other leg. After that, we move on to its prominent neural spines. First, from its neck we can't see very tall neural spines, so we can draw the top of its neck flat. In the upper part of its neck, we can draw some folds. From the root of its neck, and above its chest, very tall neural spines can be seen. Let's use a dotted line to represent the midline of its neural spines. It is an arc extending backward like this. Above the midline, we can draw a row of spikes resembling those of iguanas. Then let's draw the transitional part between its neural spines and trunk. We first need to make it clear that although its neural spines were tall, they didn't form a back-sail structure like that of Spinosaurus. They extended downward gently, because the two sides of its neural spines were wrapped by several pieces of thick and strong muscles. These muscles enabled the dinosaur's back and tail to form a great pulling force to let it maintain parallel to the ground. Many dinosaurs had such a state, and it was more prominent in Acrocanthosaurus. As seen from the front, the outline of its trunk and back gently went up. Then let's draw the other side. We can draw some folds to show its edges. This is the end of its shoulder blades. Next, let's draw its pelvis. The pelvis of carnivorous dinosaurs was usually narrow, and the two ilia were close to each other, therefore, the end of its thigh extended upward very gently. At the end of its thigh, we can draw some wrinkles. Then let's draw its tail backward. On both sides of its body, we can draw some spots to show its big scales. Lastly, we can draw some elements of the river bank and flowing water under its feet. Good, like this, we've finished drawing the back of Acrocanthosaurus.